On this sacred day of Lunasa, I offer this ancestral wisdom tale from the Emerald Isle of Erin. I ask the bards that have preserved this story through time to guide my words, so I may be a link in that chain from past to future. May it bring blessings upon the teller and all of those who have ears to hear. Far back through the mists of time, the island now known as Ireland was named Eru. Now at this time, there was a battle raging between the Fomorians and the Tuatha De Danann, the people skilled in art and magic. The Fomorians ruled with an iron fist, grabbing anything of value, stealing away the children for slaves, and making artists and musicians gather firewood and build stone walls to keep them from practicing their skills. There was one amongst the Fomorians that was feared above all others, Balor of the Baleful Eye. When Balor was a child, he peered into the window where the evil Fomorian druids were making a potion of death, and the wisps of smoke from that potion went into his eye. From that day on, anyone Balor would look at with that eye would instantly die. Because of this, Balor became invincible in battle. But the seers had foretold that the only way he would ever die in battle was by the hand of his own grandson. So Balor locked his daughter, Ethlyn, high up in a crystal tower in the middle of the ocean, so she could never gaze upon a man. And there she stayed with her 12 handmaids, who promised never to speak of a man to her. Now there was one thing that Balor coveted more than anything else. It was the magical cow, the glass gowan, who never would run dry of milk. The owner of this cow was Cian, a beautiful man of the Tuatha De Danann, and Balor would follow him around waiting for his opportunity to steal the cow. Cian would lead the cow around on a leash and always kept a lookout for trickery. One day, he and his 2 brothers went to Goibnu, the smith, to have swords made, and he asked his youngest brother to hold the leash while he went inside the forge. Balor saw his chance and transformed himself into a young red-headed boy. He said to the youngest brother, "I overheard the men inside saying that after they made the 2 swords for themselves, there would be no iron left to make a 3rd sword." Now when the youngest brother heard this, he angrily rushed into the forge, and when Cian saw him, he knew it was too late. Balor had disappeared with the glass gowan, and there was no way to retrieve her on account of his baleful eye. At this time, Cian sought out the wisest of the old druids, Beorg of the mountain, to see what he could do to retrieve his cow. Now Beorg had heard of the prophecy and knew that the one way that Balor could be defeated was by his own grandson. So she transformed Cian into a beautiful woman and called up a magical whirlwind, which flew them across the ocean to the crystal tower. When they arrived, Beorg shouted up to Ethlyn that this beautiful princess of the Tuatha De Danann was in danger and needed a safe place to stay. Ethlyn asked her 12 handmaids to let them in, and upon entry, Beorg of the mountain sang a sleeping spell, and they all drifted off into a magical sleep. Cian then was transformed back into his original form, and Ethlyn realized that she had seen his face every night in her dreams. They instantly fell in love, and they lie together in that glass tower, deep in love's embrace. When they arose, Cian begged Beorg to allow them to take Ethlyn back with them, but she insisted that Ethlyn must remain, and again summoned the magical whirlwind, which brought them back to the mainland of Erin. In time, Ethlyn gave birth to a son and named him Lugh. Balor, knowing that this grandson would lead to his demise, took the child and threw him into the sea. Beorg of the Mountain had been watching all this time and knew that this was her chance. And as young Lugh sank beneath the waves, she snatched him up and took him to safety amongst Cian's people. From then on, Lugh was raised on the Isle of Man amongst the druids and wisest people of the age. He was taught all of the skills, wisdom, arts of war, healing, and music. He became known as the Ildenach, the all-skilled, and in time would grow to become a great king and warrior, and defeat his grandfather, just as was foretold. But that is a tale for another day.